Welcome, everybody. Daredevil 19 here, along with Star Blast Studios, and this is the Plastic Power Podcast. This is our first episode. Say hello, Star Blast Studios.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to this podcast. I'm very happy to be part of the PP podcast. Very excited.
Yeah, that's the shortened version of the
Yeah.
podcast name here. So what we're mainly going to be talking about here is figure stuff, geek related stuff like that. So this episode here, we're going to be talking about some of the new figure reveals that we got from Tamashii Nation's SH Figuarts. Like they revealed a lot of new anime lines or revived a few lines. We have current lines, some Marvel DC stuff, Star Blast. Anything you would like to include there before we begin?
Yeah, just like I'm just really happy we get to start up on this podcast. But yeah, like Tamashii Nations has revealed a ton of stuff. Just like what was it, like about a week ago or something like that, before we actually got the
Yep.
podcast. So like we actually have lots and lots of content to really get into here.
Yeah.
Starting off with the like one of the most recent releases that were revealed for Figuarts was their newest Super Saiyan Vegeta, but my personal favorite that I'm excited for, this Super Saiyan Trunks. We have been, for a 2.0 Trunks, we have been needing a 2.0 Trunks for a very long time. I have been wanting them to make that exact version of Trunks like that for so long. The 1.0 version is just super outdated, and I'm like looking at how the
It is. It
musculature.
is. It's very outdated.
Oh man, looking at the
Keep going.
musculature and no, you're fine. No, the musculature, like the articulation, it's just like that
Yep.
looks
Yep.
so good.
It's just that 1.0 body mold. It's just like you said, outdated. And I mean, we kind of sort of got like a 2.0-ish with the super version of Future Trunks, but it still wasn't the proper Z version of Future Trunks.
Yeah, and they kind of teased us already beforehand when they brought around that Xenoverse character that had almost his exact clothes. I was like, I've been saying for like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
longest time, like they're easily able to make a custom, like they're easily able to make a 2.0 Trunks just if they use those parts. Like what we have now is better.
Yep.
But back
That's the
then,
first
like,
thing I thought when I saw that figure. That was the first thing that popped in my head.
yeah,
New
it's
Trunks
like
figure.
it's the perfect opportunity. I think a lot of people, even though like this new one is like significantly better, I think if they had even made that back then, people would have been all over that because that like posing Trunks around with this sword and stuff like that, that 1.0 just had a lot of problems, especially with the shoulder articulation. You just could not
Yeah,
get out of that figure. So this is great.
100%. Yeah, if they made a proper 2.0 version, people definitely would have bought it. They would have bought that, and they would be buying this version, even if they still had that version. I mean, that's what you do as a figure collector, especially with this type of line here. So that is definitely a great reveal from Tamashii Nations in this line. And then the Vegeta, that's another one because the original 2.0 Super Saiyan version is how much now? Like 150, close to 200 or something?
If I recall correctly, yeah, I think it was like going between 100 and 150. I don't remember seeing it for 200. Like that's really like crazy. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's up there in price. Not like super expensive, but still, you don't want to be dropping that type of money for just one figure, you know?
I am super happy now that they are going about the Vegeta and not overpricing it. Like back in the day, almost every single Vegeta figure, other than the old 2.0 Super Saiyan, like it always seemed to be a web exclusive. This Vegeta,
Yep, yep,
web
yep.
exclusive. The Majin Vegeta,
This
web
one is
exclusive.
too?
Yeah, like a bunch of this one's not a web exclusive. The only Vegeta that I can think of, other than the premium color edition, which no one wants that anymore, and the regular,
Yeah.
like the only other Vegeta that wasn't a web exclusive was the Dragon Ball Super superhero base form Vegeta. That
Yeah,
one,
yeah, yeah.
that one was also that would be
Yeah,
the very
that I
first
got that.
Vegeta.
I have that one. I know when you're the one that pretty much just released a few months back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yep, yep.
So
Yeah,
and
so
oftentimes like the Vegeta figures would really just be overpriced because of the fact that it's a web exclusive, and so now
yeah,
we have it at that 35, 37, $40
That
price point. Wonderful. Sand
beautiful
rays on
Goku price. That's what I call it,
exactly.
the Goku price.
We have been
But
needing
yeah,
this for a
it's good to
while.
see that. That helps our wallets, especially with how everything is more expensive now. It's good to see when we can get a figure at a lower price than what they usually sell new figures for, you know? So, and what's cool about this, I'm noticing it seems like they're focusing now on the Android Saga slash Cell Saga characters because they showed the Dr. Gero not too long ago, along with, well, Android 19 and 20. We got the Imperfect Cell not too long ago. So, could be some more of those characters that we might see in upcoming reveals. And go ahead, good sir.
Oh
Looks
yeah,
like you're
like
about to say something.
no, I was just like thinking, but like it actually just reminded me. So like, only a few people like actually know this. I did but basically, if you remember, we did a list a while back, actually going over some of our most wanted Dragon Ball figures. We never actually,
Yep,
maybe we can
yep.
maybe we can just re-go over it like maybe in another podcast in the future. But one of the
Yeah,
figures
yeah,
on
we
that
should.
I had on that list for one of my most wanted Dragon Ball Figuarts was a 2.0 Trunks, and
Yeah,
now that
I remember that.
yeah, like we have, so I'm really excited if they, for that figure to, come out. But like, yeah, we have, let's not try to, we have a lot of other figures right now that we also got to talk about that just recently got revealed
Yeah,
as well.
didn't they just reveal since we're on Dragon Ball Pan as well? They just revealed her at the event, right? Or
Well,
did they
no, it
reveal
it
her
wasn't the
before
first.
that?
It wasn't the first time we saw it. Like I believe during it was one event beforehand. They showed off Pan with the other Dragon Ball superhero figures. It might have been like
Okay.
showing off with Gamma 1 and 2, but it just never
All
went up
right,
for
so we can move
pre-order.
on. We can move on to the next then. So the next thing that was revealed, I'm not like the biggest fan of this. But next they revealed, I know a lot of people are going to be really pumped, excited, hyped for this. And SH Figuarts or Tamashii Nations revealed an SH Figuarts Bleach line. So another new anime line. They never ever touched up on that ever. So that's definitely cool. I'm curious to how they're going to do their robes because when you just do it in all plastic, it to me it doesn't work. It needs to be cloth. Even if you don't put wire in it, I'd rather that than plastic.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my like my Ishigo figure right now. Like they had like there was this one company called Dasen Model, I believe,
Yep,
that
yep.
they released they released the figures. They're really good, but the problem with them is that
Yeah.
they're not 6-inch scale, which is my preferred
Yeah, they're
collection
an odd
scaling.
scale.
Yeah,
Same with the Kenshin. Odd scale.
yeah, it's one of those things where you're right. We got to be a little bit skeptical here for how this Ishigo figure will come out because
Yeah.
if
You
you
know that's
see,
gonna be the first figure, yeah.
of course, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I mean, most definitely, it's gonna come with. Oh, okay, yeah. It's not even. He's not. It probably won't even be his Bankai. It'll just be his regular Shikai state and such.
Yeah. You know if the line is successful, we'll see a bunch of versions
Mhm.
of each Ichigo.
Most
But
definitely, yes.
yeah,
Uh,
but they definitely should do the cloth clothing route, like what you were just saying about the Dash model version. That's why that works so well. Same with their Kenshin Amora figures. So I don't know if Tamashii Nations is going to do that. They never have, I don't think. But there is a first time for everything, you know.
yeah, of course.
So
I can kind of see it. Like, I mean, I would much rather prefer them to go and make the like cloth route as you're saying, but at the same time,
yeah,
like I know that if you do it using plastic, so long as the sculpt and articulation function well enough together, it can work. I know
yeah,
that
yeah,
they haven't been like they haven't really like been so much as bad. It's just like then the concern is that well with Ishigo his clothes he has like a lot of like clothing that goes outwards and it can get in the way if it's plastic. If anything, they'll probably end up so like with the fur coat on Broly with Baa's ear and such, like maybe they'll end up making it rubber around, which if
yeah,
they're
yeah,
that's
yeah.
only
Like
if they
like the
don't do
pants,
cloth.
I'm not worried about because they've been getting better at sculpting really baggy pants into the
Hmm.
knee joints, and it works in really nice. The elbows, I don't know how they'll do, but I guess we'll see. And same with the sleeves and stuff. But yeah, if certain things most likely might be that very soft rubbery plastic they've been starting to use more often. So that could definitely be what the clothing's made out of. So I guess we will see probably real soon.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, that'll probably just get revealed. When do you think it's going to get revealed? By the end of this year or sometime next year? Who knows? Honestly, they're
Either
probably
the
just
end of
giving it
the
to the
year
hype.
or beginning of the year. Well, Toy Fair is in February, so possibly at Toy Fair.
I'm thinking about it right now. They're probably not going to do the way that Ishigo first appeared as a Soul Reaper. It's probably going to correlate alongside the continuation of
The
the
new,
anime.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm thinking that too. And then if it is successful, they will go back to the original anime. But
Hmm.
you know how Tamashii Nation says if the first sometimes they just only do the first figure, but if the first 3 to 5 figures don't sell as well as they hoped, then they just cut off the line. Like Cowboy Bebop. Haven't seen anything new, right? I think that line's done.
No, they only revealed.
So
They only released the what's it called? What's it? Why
like
can't I
I think
remember
they
his
made
name?
like 4 or 5 characters, but I don't know if they revealed anything new recently.
No, but one example of like of a more successful like newer line would be Jujutsu Kaisen. Like people have been
Yeah.
I think people have been all over it. Well, actually,
It
never
seems
mind. I
really popular, actually. I've seen
it
a lot of restocks
It
going
is
around.
pretty popular, but now actually like see I thought about that after I just said it, and I realized well actually the figures are notorious are have been going on Ami Ami discounted as of late, and not a lot of people actually have been purchasing their figures, specifically Satoru Gojo and the other guy who's the main character
Yeah, yeah.
of the movies. Those
Yeah, yeah.
have not been selling well. Um,
Maybe they made too many I mean, that's happened a few times. Maybe they oversold what they thought they would sell with their second restock,
Yeah,
possibly.
and
That's
that's even
probably what
happened with
happened.
and that's even what happened with Dragon Ball. But
Oh yeah, yeah, that happens plenty of times. But
one
they
figure
continue it.
one figure that they did release that has this sold out like alongside this sold out very quickly on Hobby Genki.
Yeah.
Which this sold out along with the sorry, not the Goku, the Vegeta, Trunks, and then Denji figure from Chainsaw Man, which we'll get into in a little bit.
Yep.
And this is the Sukuna figure from Jujutsu Kaisen as well. It looks absolutely marvelous with the sculpt and the facial expressions and
Yeah,
stuff
that
like that.
one does look really awesome. I didn't even finish that anime, but that figure does look really cool.
Yeah,
Definitely agree with you on that.
I will say though, like from what I've seen on that figure, and this is just from me looking at how it is right now, I'm a
Yeah.
little bit disappointed with the facial features they included, because you see with the Sukuna, we've already had like a lot of like maniacal like laughing faces that already came with the Yuji figure, and then the well I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the other guy, but he there was an accessory for um oh my god, the Jujutsu Kaisen fans are
Like
gonna hate.
every character they released pretty much came with a new facial expression for the main character. Because I don't really watch the show like that. I only know what is his name? Gojo, his teacher or something.
This guy, I just pulled him
Okay,
up
yeah,
right now.
yeah, yeah.
They included
Yeah.
they included a Sukuna face with this guy,
Yeah.
but they never but and so but they're all pretty much like the same like laughing kind of like smiling evil face that Sukuna has, and I would have liked
Yeah.
to have seen a couple more expressions with this figure, like maybe like a stern face or like an angry face, because I mean even when he was fighting Gojo in the
What is
first
he?
episode,
3 or 4 faces with this one? Because I know a
I,
lot of them have that evil or laughing, that evil laugh facial expression or the evil smile.
they had he had the evil smile face, and then he had an evil smile with mouth open, crazy maniacal type of face. I think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
there's only I think that there's only two faces, but or if there's three, like none of the faces like really vary from him smiling. It's always like him smiling with like this crazy look, and
It's pretty much very similar-ish. Yeah, okay, I know what you mean. So yeah, a lot of people
yeah.
probably do agree with that.
Yeah, I just wish there
But
was a little
yeah,
bit more variety. Heck, probably the faces that they included with with like the Sukuna face that they included with the Yuji will work alongside this Sukuna, and so I just wish that they would
yeah,
have gone about it
possibly, yeah.
differently.
Or maybe future characters they release, they'll keep doing that extra face for him this time.
Yeah,
Um, so what do we got next?
I want to
A
talk
very
about
popular.
Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw
Yeah.
Man right now.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
now I know
That's
you still need to
next.
see the anime, which I heavily
Yes.
encourage you to go and watch. It's amazing,
Oh no,
amazing,
I
and
will. I will.
good.
We'll
Okay,
probably talk about it one episode.
but Figuarts recently revealed their I don't want to say Denji because it's technically like well it's when Denji turns into Chainsaw Man,
Yeah,
but
you
like
don't.
I guess we'll just say Chainsaw Man for right now. And the very first
Yeah.
thing that people were doing when Figuarts revealed that was like comparing it to the recently revealed Figma Denji, and
Yeah.
this is now this is like I don't want to
Two
say night
different
and day.
versions of it.
Well, no, there's actually they're almost the exact same figures, in a sense. But
Yeah.
the difference between Figuarts and Figma, Figuarts has more articulation and it has like more detail, like the blood on the chains and stuff, and it
Yeah,
has
the
like
blood is what sold me on that one.
oh
But
my
it
god,
is a beautifully made looking figure. I haven't seen a figure that incredibly well done in a while, and we always get those here and there throughout the year. So
yeah, it
it's
looks
really nice
so
to see that.
badass. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
so
pre-ordered it.
badass.
I haven't even watched the series yet, the anime, or read the manga. I just know a little bit about it, and just seeing that figure just pushed me to pre-order it. I said, "Screw it, I'll
Just the
get it."
fact, yeah, and then on top of that too, with the price that they put it at, like I mean, it's at like $50, I believe, or
Oh, that's not
55.
bad at all.
Yeah, and but the thing about and this is where I think Figma really takes the L here in that even though their Chainsaw Man figure like it has like interchangeable arms so he can switch between Denji and the Chainsaw Man like form,
Yeah, yeah.
the pricing that's on that figure art's literally being almost like pretty much half as much as the
Half the
Figma.
price.
Like they can make a Denji figure later. You basically have a Chainsaw Man and a separate Chainsaw Man and a Denji figure, like two
Yeah,
figures
you'll
for like
get
the
two
price of one
figures for the
Figma.
price of one of theirs, and you'll be able to display two figures and not have to choose between the one. So yeah, that's another thing. A lot of figure companies are getting overpriced. Tamashii Nations really, out of every figure company that I've seen as of late, are the ones still giving their same prices they've really been giving. They haven't changed, or they're giving these nice deals like on the Vegeta. So that's something I definitely do appreciate from toy companies. That's definitely awesome because Figma, a lot of money for their figures.
And don't even get me started on the Figma the articulation and stuff. They keep using the exact same notorious Figma joints, and like when it comes
Yeah,
to Figuarts, they're making new parts, they're making new joints and stuff that's
they're
being upgraded.
constantly evolving. Yep,
They're
yep, yep.
improving. Figma's kind of been stuck in this exact same like system whenever they make figures, and I'm just like they need to
Yep.
start improving their figures.
I think the last thing Figma updated was their wrist joints because they used to just have the hinge and swivel and they broke so easily. Every hand had its own wrist peg that was super thin. If you weren't careful, they'd break. And they finally switched them to the hinge, the ball peg hinge
Hmm.
with the pegs. So I'm glad they did that. But they did that so long ago. And that was one of the last main things they've updated on their figures that I've noticed.
Yeah. I'll say this.
So,
I'll say one last thing about the Figma, but the Figma thing before we move on. Like, I think that
yeah.
ultimately Figma's advantage, or like sometimes over Figuarts, heck, even other figures like companies, whenever they compare the My Hero Academia stuff to Revoltech, I feel like their face sculpts, they are much closer to what we see in the anime for a lot of figures. Than
Who, Figma?
yeah, I think that Figma's sculpts, like
Yeah.
their face sculpts are very well done. They look like they come
Yeah,
right out of
they
the
are.
anime. Like I even look at I mean I'll look at the Figma and I'll look at the Revoltech Midoriya figure, and even though
Yeah.
like I understand that the Revoltech is kind of objectively a better figure than the Figma, Figma still has that
Yeah.
advantage in how they do faces. So really, they just need to start improving other aspects of their figures that to really make it worth the price point that they're putting at. They really just seem very outdated with how they've been making figures, and this Chainsaw Man is really, I think, like the final nail in the
A big
coffin.
big
It's a
example of it.
huge
Yeah.
example. Yeah, this
Look
is
at
like
even Revel Tech. They constantly up it's like they level up their figure and upgrade them with each release. Some or every other at least. They're constantly trying to make their product better. Figma is very lazy when it comes to that aspect to
mhm.
their toy line, and it's sad because they do make really nice figures. Their anime face sculpts are always on point, so I definitely know what you mean.
Yeah, like they even just released the what's it called, the like another like a Yuji Itadori from their own line. And even though the some of the, like the sculpting is, it's still stuck with the Figma joints, like I think
Yeah,
the facial expressions and stuff is so much more accurate than the Figuarts, but I think Figuarts also
yeah,
has its advantages.
yeah,
So
yeah, 100%,
I think when it comes to
definitely.
that figure, even though like there's a couple, differences, it's like it comes down to your, interpretation, like whatever you think is better.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah, definitely can't wait for that Chainsaw Man figure. That's going to be a great SH Figure Arts figure. That's the one I pre-ordered out of the two. That's the one that sold me between the two promo images, and I'm pretty sure that's how you got sold too between the two promo images. So continuing on, shall we, good sir?
We shall.
All right, so they also continuing with their Naruto line. This is great news as well. So SH Figuarts did reveal their kid version of Naruto and their kid version of Sasuke, and I'm pretty sure we'll see a kid version of Sakura as well. And I hope we start seeing a lot more characters afterwards. But seems like they're heading in the right direction with the revival of this line. I don't know how big you are into the line. Are you big into the SH Figuarts Naruto line?
I wouldn't say that I'm quite as big with this line in particular, like in comparison to
Yeah.
like the Dragon Ball stuff, but um,
Yeah,
I,
yeah. Like
I did get all the recently released, like, Naruto figures ever since the revival of it.
yeah, me too.
Like I didn't feel like passing up on it. It's just like they look really good. But I
Big
will
difference
say
between them.
huge difference. Um,
Yeah.
but they these figures, the way that the direction that they're heading into the line is, it's fantastic. I'm really, if
Yeah.
they're going to be releasing any other figures to coincide with that, they're not going to need to do a Kakashi because he looks the same between regular and Shippuden.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's what I was saying too.
I
Thinking at least.
I
Yeah.
want them to I want them to make this villain that was from the beginnings of Naruto. That's Zabuza. Having that
Before you said it, I know who you were gonna
yeah.
say. I'm pretty sure he is gonna be one of the next characters we're gonna see because we got Kakashi. We're gonna get all the kid versions of him. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure he could possibly be revealed with Kid Sakura.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
And if they don't do Zabuza, like at the very least, like a good villain that would fit in with the early stages of Naruto and Shippuden would be Orochimaru.
Yeah,
He looks
yeah,
exactly the same,
100%.
so he could be
Yeah,
posed
yeah,
alongside with either of them.
yeah, yeah. That's funny. Him and Kakashi. You don't have to worry about two different versions. I'm sure we'll get like an Ambu Black Ops version Kakashi, or maybe a younger version Orochimaru at some point. But Zabuza is, I remember from years ago, one of the most requested characters I would see in my comments on my YouTube channel or on my Instagram, just everywhere on social media. People wanted a freaking Zabuza, and if they don't make him, bad move. But I'm pretty sure he will be one of the next reveals.
Hundred
So,
percent.
didn't they kind of tease it? Or am I just making stuff up?
Zabuza? I don't think so. No, I don't think that
Yeah,
I don't recall them ever teasing. I mean, they could have, but I mean, I don't
yeah,
remember.
but
But
yeah,
I want to actually like talk a little bit about now. I think that the Sasuke and the Naruto, they look absolutely fantastic. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't heard any complaints about how Naruto looks. I mean, it looks great. I'm excited to see how the articulation comes out. But I think Sasuke has actually had quite a bit of controversy with the way that they design his facial expressions and such, or the way that they
Yeah.
designed the sculpt of the body. Um,
Yeah.
some people are
Yeah.
saying that.
Naruto looks great. Sasuke, I don't know. Maybe we need to see more promotional images. Maybe that's
Mhm.
just. But yeah, I see what you mean.
I'm like, I'm fine with
Could
how
be the
they
angle
came
through
out.
the torso, maybe. But I
No,
don't know.
I think it personally, like, I don't have any issue with it, but that's like the one negative side that I've seen. I think it looks fine. I think it, like, cuz
Yeah.
even people who went in, like, looked at shots from him from the manga and stuff, and in the anime, like, he's much skinnier he's much thinner in both mediums. So
Yeah.
it's
Naruto's
accurate in
wearing
that.
a jacket, so
Yeah, and Naruto's wearing a
he's
jacket.
gonna look more bulky because he's in that bigger jacket.
Mhm.
He's probably wearing puffy pants. That's what it always seemed like to me. So, but yeah, the Sasuke, I'm not like, oh my God, it's horrible. I'm buying it. All right, people,
Yeah.
I'm buying it. And Naruto and Sakura, and then hopefully Zabuza, which I'm pretty sure that will be. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm loving how the line is turning out so far. This revival of the line is such a huge step forward. Big difference between their original figures to how they look right now. So this is great for Naruto fans. Let's keep supporting the SH Figuarts Naruto line because they are putting out badass figures.
100%, 100%. Can't wait to see what else they end up doing with the line. Now,
Yeah.
it's kind of, and speaking of revivals of lines, One Piece. Um,
Yes.
One Piece, the Figuarts did actually used to have their own One Piece line in the past, but they only actually did, actually no,
They only
they
did
did.
four figures
I
back.
think
I think it was like 2014
they
they did them.
they did Luffy, Ace,
Yep.
Nami,
Sanji. Yep.
Sanji.
And Nami. And that's it.
I'm surprised now looking back at it, they never did Zoro. He's like the second most popular thing. No wonder that if you don't do
It was
Zoro,
a
your line's
different
gonna
time
fail.
back then. I didn't even watch One Piece back then. But yeah, it was during the Water 7 arc because that was the Water 7 version of Nami. Or when they were heading to Eni's lobby on the train. So
Yeah.
that's when they were making the figures, but it wasn't as popular as it is right now.
Oh man, yeah.
So
One Piece is now mainstream, especially after the movie, and a lot of people just like it's like it's grown up in so much popularity since then, and it's been around. That's what happens when
yeah.
a show is just sticks around for so long,
Yeah,
and
they're over 1,000 episodes. It's just the fandom has grown so much larger than what it was back when they first made the figures. So I think these are gonna fly off the shelves or the online store shelves.
yeah. And them now doing like a Zoro and a Sanji figure as well. Like I'm ready to sell off my variable action heroes One Piece stuff, and just begin
Yeah,
again
and
with the Figuarts.
what's crazy that you say variable action heroes. Tell me Luffy doesn't look like very similar to it, like really well done with the paintwork. You know what I mean? Like, because
Hmm.
Variable Action Heroes does very nice shading. I see some nice shading on his shorts there. It looks like he might have it on the skin tone as well. But to me, it looks like a Variable Action Heroes, but a little bit smaller. And his lower torso, kind of with the articulation, doesn't that look a little strange? I'm sure it's gonna work fine, but I've never seen
Uh,
them use like a joint like that unless it is a ball peg. I think it's like a hinge, right? Doesn't it look like a hinge to you?
well, let me pull
Not
it up
the
real quick.
upper torso by his scar, but the lower torso around the midsection.
Let me find it. Let me find this real quick.
It could be a hinge, but it could just be oddly cut, and it could just be like a ball peg. But
Where is this?
you found it?
No, I
I could
can't find
send
it.
you. Here,
Yeah,
I'll
send
send you
it.
a
Oh wait,
picture.
no, hold on. I found it.
You found it,
I found it. Oh yeah, okay. I see what you're talking
right?
about. Yeah, like
Yeah.
the torso reminds
The
me of
upper
how
joint looks great.
The torso
I know
reminds
what
me of
you're
how
gonna
they
say.
did Portgeist Ace, like the variable action hero's Ace. Surprisingly,
Yeah,
there's a
I,
few. It does look a little bit. You're
it.
right. It's a bit of a strange torso in comparison to how they've normally done stuff. It seems like they are kind of hitting into that variable action hero torso territory on a few of their figures.
Yeah, but it's weird. I've never really seen them do that. But I have seen other figures made like that. It's on like the tip of my tongue, but I can't remember what other figures I've seen like that. But I mean, it should be a really good figure. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a really
DC
fun
icons,
figure.
maybe. It
Yeah,
was DC.
there we go.
Yeah,
DC Icons. Same. It looks just like DC Icons torso. It'll probably be better because the Icons ones were always stuck. It's like, damn it. But yeah, I'm glad that it's Luffy, and then we'll probably get Zoro next, and then Sanji. I'm glad they're making those three right off the bat, and hopefully we get the complete Straw Hats this
yeah.
time.
They already hinted at that. There's Sanji
Yep.
right
Yep.
over here, and then Zoro right behind him. Yeah, we're definitely getting a
Yeah.
revival here. I'm excited for it. Um,
Yeah, I think it's gonna sell a lot better than before because I didn't even buy them before.
mhm.
But yeah, people still buying them because they never knew SH Figuarts made them, but that they're
Well,
so old.
well, no, the Figuarts. Let's be honest here. Some of the Figuarts One Piece figures did not look good.
No,
The
they did not. I had three of them at
mhm.
one point, like a long time ago, like when I first started the series.
I
But
watched
then
your
I
review of
found
them.
out about yeah, and then I found out about variable action heroes. I'm like, yep, let me get rid of these and switch. Um, but yeah, this line, I hope they do the right things because Naruto, the SH Figuarts Naruto and One Piece line could be as big as their Dragon Ball line as long as they play their cards right.
I will
Those
say
are
though, I wish
two
there was
incredibly pop.
one. Sorry,
Go
no,
ahead,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
One
No,
similarity. Okay, there's one thing that I wish they had done that was a little bit similar. So that smiling face that Luffy has, I really wish it. Okay,
yeah,
I really wish that it was closed. Just like on the variable action heroes one, because I
yeah,
don't know
yeah,
what it is when
yeah.
let me show you. When you zoom in on that face,
Nah, I'm
I
looking
know it
right
doesn't
at
look
it. Yep.
it looks a little bit. It looks something about it looks very off. I don't
Yeah, it
know.
looks more like he's talking.
Yeah, and it's like it's more it's much. I think I remember like Luffy not having that whenever he smiles. He usually has like a very big smile. He's like super happy and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I would have kept it like that. I feel like they did that one thing just to make it like a little bit more different than the variable action heroes for the sake of it being different. But I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's
think they should have just kept it the way it is. Like I think people would have been happy with it and would have known it's Figuarts anyways.
yeah. Another thing people weren't happy about that I saw comments on my Instagram is no stretchy effects because the original SH Figuarts Luffy actually had a Gum Gum stretching arm effect. So I don't know if we're gonna get one, and they just didn't show it. But you think they would, or maybe they're still in the process of
I think
making
they're
it.
still in
I
the
don't know.
process. I think just judging by the fact because yeah, they revealed a lot of figures. I think
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
there's still a lot of other accessories that we're bound to definitely get with this Luffy. Even if there's not going to be any stretchy effects, there's definitely what was it? I forgot what
maybe
it's called, but
armament hockey, or he
yeah, the
his
hard.
arms blackens his arms, the armor. Yeah, we might see that. That would be awesome. Or we could get an accessory pack with a bunch of different stretchy effects. Maybe, who knows?
I
You never
wouldn't
know.
I wouldn't bet
There's
on that. They
yeah,
never done that before.
yeah. It's not like other
I'd like him
companies,
to.
but yeah, but they're not really known for that. We might just get like maybe it might come with Hanami or Chopper. Chopper
Hmm.
might come with a bunch of other characters' accessories because he's real tiny. But
Next thing you
yeah,
know,
really,
they're gonna release like a whole gigantic boat for $1,000. They're gonna reveal the going like not the Going Merry
no,
the
a
sunny
thousand sunny, yeah,
thousand sunny yeah.
yep, yep, yep. Oh man, I'd be like, I gotta get it.
Oh my god, I
That
there's
have
no
to do a
way.
payment plan.
Oh goodness.
$1,000 in scale with the 112 figures. Just imagine how big that would be.
That would think if it was like
2 feet.
legitimately in scale okay that'd probably be like the size in order that probably be like the size of a room. No, okay, that's not happening. Never mind. There's no way this will work. 'Cause, yeah, I don't know. But,
Yeah.
okay, that's probably be like the size of a room. No, okay, that's not happening. Never mind. There's no way this will work. 1,000 bucks. Oh my god, I
That
I
Yeah,
mean, it would have to
you're
be
right.
scaled
The
down.
Going Merry maybe would be decent sized for display, but not the Thousand Sunny. That's right. The Thousand Sunny's some much more bigger ship.
Hmm.
But anyway, shall we continue on then?
So, what other figures did they reveal over there?
They did reveal the Black Adam movie Black Adam. I know you
Hmm.
haven't seen it yet, but the figure looks great. It looks like they took Black Adam out the movie and put him in figure form.
Hmm.
Um, McFarlane Toys did a good job with theirs, but this SH Figuarts, you could already tell it'll be the best version currently because, I mean, big difference between the two toy companies.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah, it does look really good.
yeah. I mean, it looks just like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, and it has like
Yeah,
those really
yeah,
cool effects. Like I haven't, yeah, but just from the trailer that I've seen of Black Adam, they really did seem to nail it like spot on and such.
yeah.
With
The
no,
suit looks great, the boots. The movie was really fun. I know, I think you can rent it now, so, but
okay, I got HBO Max. I can
yeah.
probably watch it on there if
Oh
they
yeah,
have it.
it's probably already on there. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a fun action movie. It's a lot of fun to watch. But the figure, yeah, the effects look great. Looks like he has good articulation. The hooded cloak, I know a lot of people were kind of making fun of the way it was cut. Did you see the picture of it?
I did see a couple. I mean, I did see the cloak, but I didn't think that there was. I didn't think there was any problem with it. Just probably
I
because I
mean,
haven't.
it's not like that bad, but I know what people were talking about. They could have made it look a little more tattered up. You know what I mean? It looks too patterned.
When if
I
I see
think
the
that's
movie,
what.
I'll probably know like what the actual. I'll probably understand like what the actual issues is. But from
Yeah,
what
it
you're saying, it
looks
needs to
like
be more
how
tattered.
Mando's cape does at the bottom. It's more tattered. This one, it's just like kind of cut in like triangles
Mhm.
throughout the entire bottom and sides. But I mean, the figure looks like it's gonna be a fun figure to pose
So,
around.
so what do you think? Is the cape like enough of an issue, enough of a problem to you that you think that it's an issue, or is just like more so what other people around the grapevine are saying?
I mean, personally, I'm just gonna swap it with one of my custom capes, but
I knew that was gonna happen. I knew you were gonna say something about those capes.
no, Tamashii Nations, because I just got their SH Figure Arts, the Batman figure, and
Hmm.
they had a wired cape, but they wired the sides, and that was it. Their issue is if you do stuff like that, you have to keep the bendy wire going up into that plastic piece they had, because it was already connected to that plastic shoulder piece, which was also part of the cape, and it just looked real ugly. But the bendy wire started poking out. They put too much in, and it just wouldn't pose well because the bendy wire didn't go all the way up. So feel like they're still struggling with wiring their cloth goods. But I do prefer the cloth goods from them over their plastic ones,
Yeah.
100%.
Like, yeah, I think that when you're manufacturing like a ton of figures, especially when it comes to cloth goods, it's much more difficult to actually keep, things the right
Yeah,
size and have it be properly consistent with one another. It's
yeah,
not a
yeah. Or
like like with plastic, you just print out the sculpt and like boom, there you go. But with cloth goods, it's a lot more complicated than that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe they try to get it out quickly because they want to get the figure out by a certain date, you know what I mean? So maybe they're just like, all right, just cut it like that at the bottom, looks tattered up enough, you know? So, I
Hmm.
mean, it's not a make or break for collectors. Still buy the figure, even if you don't like it. I mean, you can get a custom K from us. No, I'm just kidding. But no, but for real, don't let that discourage you from buying it because there's probably still going to be bendy wire in it. And it does look nice with the gold pattern that they put on it too. I like the way that turned out. But yeah, it should be a pretty good figure. And I think that's about it with that. Let's move on to the next one, shall we?
Venom and Carnage. Okay, so
Yeah.
okay, I haven't collected any. I haven't gotten any of like. I didn't get the goodness gracious. Um,
Marvel Legends?
I
Hmm?
have the Marvel. I have the Marvel Legends Venom. I did not pre
Yeah,
like
that's a good
and
figure.
very good figure. I even got the Revel Tech
Yeah.
Venom. I didn't pre-order any of the
Yeah, yeah.
Figuarts like movie stuff just because I don't know.
It's so expensive.
Yeah, it was much
It's a
more
buck
expensive,
30.
and I'm
It's
just
like
like, and the Figuarts is sorry, not the Figuarts. The Hasbro the Marvel Legends Venom was so good for the price that it's at
Yeah,
that I really just did not feel the need to get the Figuarts one. Like it's one of those rare times where a Marvel Legends figure is actually like kind of competing, and in terms of price and sculpt and what you get, I actually think that in some
it's not
cases it's
worth.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not worth getting the high end or high priced figure when the I'm not gonna say they're low end, but they're not as expensive figures. They're what, $22 now? They upped it a few bucks, but I
I
mean you can get a
remember, I think I got the Venom for like $30, but that was probably because it was aftermarket
yeah,
pricing. Because
yeah.
I
It's
got it
still not
after.
a bad price for them. 30 bucks.
Hmm.
I think that's maybe what I paid. But that's still a good price for that figure. That's not even its retail price, So I think what like how you don't even want to bother with the figure arts. A lot of people are probably going to be like that because it's a lot. That's a lot of money. That's $130 for one action figure, and who knows how much Carnage is going to be. The Venom does look really good though, but if you have that Marvel Legends, you probably don't need to get the SH figure arts unless you want to get it. So I
Yeah,
understand what you mean there.
but the Carnage, okay, so I'll say this about the Carnage. I
Mhm.
think that this is just by far the best Carnage that we've ever seen. Like I think that this might
Yeah,
actually be able to work as a definitive Carnage, like for just in general
like a
because
comic version too. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, comic version. Okay, the Mafex
yeah.
Carnage that that some of them revealed, it's just like it like the newest one
Very
just
cartoony.
very cartoony. It did not
Yeah,
really appeal to me. And then the one from like Revel Tech, just it kind of had like this weird like thing here with the bubbly eyes. Like I was hyped up when I first saw it,
yeah.
but then over time I looked at that, I'm just like, you know what, that looks a little strange to me, especially because the
Yeah,
plastic
none of
too.
those were your definitive Carnage figures. You're still waiting,
Yeah.
and this probably will be your definitive Carnage.
This will be
Nice.
my
Yeah.
definitive Carnage figure up until this point has been the Marvel Select Carnage, which was a little bit higher and out of scale, but it
Oh.
was the coolest Carnage I've ever seen with all of like the different things on there. So this one I might actually purchase this one for because it seems to be like so much better in a lot of ways than that initial Carnage,
Yeah.
and the accessories that they'll be including. This is I think this is what we've needed, for a Carnage for
Yeah.
a very long time. So people can
Yeah. Yeah.
complain, about like, okay, well the movie did not come out very well, but they've definitely produced some very good figures from
Yeah, I'll
that.
still
So
buy a figure if a movie was bad. Like that character was still badass when I get the figure.
mhm. Yeah,
But
definitely.
that Carnage, just on both of them, the sculpted texture on them just looks really cool. They both look really well done. I'm sure Carnage, he'll probably either be around the same price or maybe a few dollars cheaper. We'll have to see though.
But yeah, like it's funny. I actually have massive problems with how they did Carnage in that movie. I don't like how they
Yeah,
how they handled this character at all. But the figure looks great, and it
yeah, yeah,
technically works outside of what the movie was intended, outside of the movie as a definitive Carnage. So I'm taking it.
yeah.
I will take it.
And he'll
But
fit better in 6-inch scale, as you were saying. You have the Marvel Select one, which a lot of people probably do, because that was a really nice figure by them. And maybe this figure arts one will replace that Select one on people's shelves. Maybe it'll persuade them with maybe the accessories. So we will have to see. I'm probably going to get both of them when I have the money. But if you wait too long with figure arts, they just get more and more expensive on the secondary market, and it's too late.
yeah,
So
but that's really with the Spider-Man villains. Now let's get into the man
yeah, yeah, yeah.
himself.
All right,
S-
yeah. So the last figure we're going to be talking about here, which we actually just decided to throw it on, this is the Reveltech Amazing Yamaguchi 2.0 Spider-Man. Now with Reveltech, their very first figure when they started Amazing Yamaguchi was Spider-Man. So I completely understand why they made a 2.0 version. It definitely was time. They upgraded enough for there to be not just subtle differences, things you'll notice between the 1.0 and 2.0 there.
Yeah, I'm still actually a little skeptical about how this figure is going to be because, well, I mean, I have like the original Revel Tech Spidey, and like the
Oh,
one
you had the original one?
yeah, it's actually I have it I have it up on my wall like with a magnet.
Yeah, yeah. That was cool
Yeah.
with that. They still give it with this one. This one has the magnets too. So
Yeah. Here,
That's
actually,
pretty
here
funny. But
I'll send you a picture. You know what? Here, I'll
all
put the
right.
picture right over the screen. I just kind of like have it like
Yeah.
hanging
Let everybody
on the.
see the 1.0. I used to have it too a long time ago, but then so many different Spider-Man figures kept coming out. I'm like, I don't need 20 different Spider-Man figures in my collection. I know there's people out there that that's their favorite character, so definitely collect away. But for me, like Spider-Man's, the max I need is maybe 3 or 4, because there's so many different cool versions. But I mean, like Peter Parker, regular Spider-Man versions. I don't even think I need that many.
Here,
Maybe like 3 at the most.
look at the picture I just sent you. You'll like
All
this.
right, let's see it. Oh, it's funny. He's just up there by himself on the
It's just
corner of the wall. Like his wall. This is the corner of the wall right here. And
yeah.
Spider-Man's just right here chilling on it like that.
They'll
Looking
see
out. It
it.
looks pretty cool though. Yeah, it'll probably pop up. But yeah, yes, I'm up there with a magnet, which hey, you use that accessory to how it should be used.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. No better way to
But
than to like leave them like that. It
yeah.
definitely saves me from using shelf space too. Don't.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's another good thing. Yep. But
But yeah,
yeah,
like
the 2.0 go ahead.
I'm
What
looking
question did
so
you have?
like so I was looking at the so I was just looking at the shoulders and it's like one of those things I'm very skeptical about because the issue that I had with the very first Spider-Man like was the
It's the
shoulders.
shoulders, right?
And looking at it,
Yeah,
it's like there's more stuff, but I don't know if that issue is improved or not.
it's like they tried to hide it. They made it more subtle, I think, in the promo images. It might have that same thing. I don't see the 1.0 had the double ball peg hinges, remember at the shoulders? This one might just have the singles because they switched to a bigger ball peg and they're single ball pegs now. So it might not do that stupid floppy thing where it would do this.
Oh yeah.
Is that what you're
God.
talking about? Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think that'll do that. I think you'll have more of a regular like shoulder movement with the figure because well, they do like that weird side torso thing too. That I just find that such a weird point of articulation. You see what I'm saying on this, like his rib cage? All their figures have that weird like I call it like shoulder blade articulation where
Oh, that. Yeah, I know what you're
yeah,
talking
it's
about.
such an
Like a
odd point of articulation. Yeah.
I think it. I
And
mean,
then
that's okay. Now that articulation, I know what you're talking about. That one to me makes the most amount of sense for sculpting and posability because because no even as weird as it may look with the way that it's done, whatever pose you put him in, it'll work. But it's just like when you're
yeah, you can
and
still hide it enough. It
and
doesn't
I
look
don't
like
see it to be as crazy of a problem when you're actually like posing the figure around like how annoying the shoulders are. It wasn't like
yeah,
that
yeah.
was okay. Like that like it's a bit different, but that one was actually considerably okay to me, even on the very first Spidey.
Yeah,
But
that shoulder issue you're talking about, I don't think you're gonna see it on this one because, like I said, they used to use that double ball hinge,
mhm.
and their first few figures had it. I didn't like it either because it's like it would do like weird stuff like that.
Mhm.
Then they switched it to a larger single ball hinge. So now it doesn't do that weird sliding, but you could still do that movement with that side torso joint. And then their thighs are also the cut. They put them on an angle, which also does help. That's another odd thing they do, but it does help with the articulation. So it should be a super duper fun figure. And then it also, oh yeah, I didn't show you. He has like a light up feature or something, but
What?
it's yeah, like see how his webbing has that weird bluish color to it, and his
Oh,
eyes,
does it glow in the
and
dark?
his symbol. I don't know if it's glow in the dark or light up. It was saying it was light up. But it's like, wait, it looks like it glows in the dark. So it might be a
That's probably
glow
what
in
it
the dark?
means. I think it's glow in the
Yeah.
dark. There's no way you can
Yeah,
introduce like engine like batteries or anything like that to go light up stuff to go through.
that's
It's
what I
way
was thinking.
too
I'm like, it didn't
complicated.
make sense. So yeah, it probably is glow in the dark, but his logo lights up, his eyes, and all the webbing. So that's a cool new thing that they added to it as well. But that's an exclusive accessory. I don't even know what store is gonna have it. It's weird. So,
Yeah.
but
There's one other thing that I'm a little bit concerned with. Okay, and
yeah.
I'm looking at the promo images. I can't tell. But
Yep.
basically, one other thing that annoyed me on the very first Spider-Man, underneath the arms, there was like a lack of sculpting. Like you would kind of like just, it would be very like flat. There wouldn't be like any musculature.
Yeah.
It only works when you have like the arms like in. It's like whenever you try to
Yeah.
pose the figure, you have to hide that.
Right.
Do you
You
think
think
that this
this?
figure has that that same issue?
No, it doesn't. Here, look. Here's a picture right here. That's why I knew you were heading in that direction, so I went to look for a picture and you could see it's all sculpted under there. So they fixed that as well. Like their first few figures weren't my favorite figures. Like I thought they were all right. They were fun to pose around. If you didn't know how to pose them, they could be a pain in the ass. You had to be very patient with them. But over time, they kept fixing things and updating. And where they're at now, they're at a pretty good point. So I feel like a lot of the issues with the original we won't see with this one. There might still be one or two though. But
Okay, hold
it,
on.
it
I see the problem you
uh-oh.
were talking
Uh-oh.
about. I see the problem you're talking about now with the shoulder blade, like going over that the symbol right there. Yeah, I don't like that. That looks a bit
Oh, I didn't
problematic.
notice that it's going over the symbol.
Yeah, now
Yo, yeah, if
now it
you
draws a
bring it
line.
in close enough, yeah.
You've crossed the line
But
with me, Yamaguchi. How dare you? Look what you did.
yeah, so when you have it, don't cover that logo or Star Blast will find you and make you uncover it. So yeah, that's about everything we're gonna be discussing in this podcast. We also did the video as well. Uh
Maybe in the future as
yeah.
well, like if you end up getting to watch Chainsaw Man, we can end up talking about those episodes as well. I feel like that'd be like a fun thing to
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
We'll try to be making the future of the podcast like not just talking about figures, but also just be
Yeah.
talking about like, well, even though the figure's called the Plastic Power Podcast, well,
Anime.
like
Yeah.
there's a lot of, we'll have a lot of like other options here, like a lot of topics we'll be getting into. So like look forward
Yeah.
to that, guys. I'm really excited to do this. This is so far, I'd want to say like this first podcast has been fairly fun. So really
Yeah, it
great.
was. It was a fun episode. And yeah, we're not just going to be talking about figures, but that is something we will talk about. But we're going to be talking about anime stuff, maybe comic book stuff, maybe movies, something just like all cool, geeky stuff that we all love and enjoy as fans. So that is what our podcast will mostly focus around. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. And hopefully you start following because we will appreciate that 100%.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, thank you so much, guys, for tuning into this podcast. Wonderful having you here. Look forward to more stuff in the future. Anyways, this has been Starblast Studios and Daredevil 19. Subscribe to both of our channels. Try to get me to 10,000 subscribers. My
Yeah,
link
he's
will be.
almost there.
I'm almost there. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the comments section. Till then.
Yeah, we'll see you later, guys. See you on the next episode.